Hi there, my name is Tony. As she said, I'm allegedly the CEO of Filament. We are a platform that helps people, professionals, and agents connect and collaborate in high-trust private networks. I have 7 minutes, so all meat, no filler. 3 ways in which the world is changing for professionals. First, everything's moving way, way faster. That means adaptability is becoming critical. Companies are shrinking down. We're seeing mass layoffs. They're becoming small cores surrounded by kind of fractional and contract talent. It's starting to look a lot like the way Hollywood works, in fact. Professionals are increasingly going to have portfolio careers. Secondly, pretty much every single way in which we used to work out how to hire someone or assess someone is all completely broken in the last year. We're back to someone vouching for someone from their network. And that only scales thus far. So we're starting to see the kind of evolution of kind of like neo-guilds of fractional executives, of designer collectives, people who are trying to work out how to like move vouching to like trust at speed to scale side of things. So that's happening. Again, very similar to Hollywood. And thirdly, Jensen's not wrong about OpenClaw. The future isn't companies building Slack AI or Notion AI. It's people bringing their own independent agents to platforms. Every incumbent is focused on the former, the opportunity is in the latter. So in sum, the thesis. Everything's starting to look a little bit like Hollywood. Companies are going to be smaller, surrounded by ecosystems of talent, and agents will run everything. So, problem is, our platforms aren't built for this world. If you look at our internal platforms like Slack, both their business model, their architecture, even their regulatory positioning are around companies that are built as silos, where the people within it are full-time employees, and AI is an integration upsell. We have one external platform, which is a 20-year-old lead gen feed, which is now pivoted into broetry and thought slop. And it breaks me. And if we're going to have a world that is AI native and fluid and adaptable, we need platforms that are also AI native, fluid, and adaptable. And that's strangely where we come in. I'm going to tell you our secret strategy for winning the future. First, being absolutely pragmatic and having zero shame about the fact that professionals have zero time to learn anything new. They have no learning curve, so we built something that looks pretty much like Slack. But instead of building for companies, we wanted to run the GitHub playbook. GitHub won because they went after the external ecosystems. They went after the open source communities. They built their global graph there and then used network effects to come after the rest and win. We want to do the exact same thing for all of knowledge work. I'm not targeting companies. We're targeting the 2,000-person climate Slack that's getting the history deleted every 90 days. We're targeting the 300-person group chat where the person explaining 409As is called Sir Dinks-a-lot. These are the places that no one else cares about, but we do, because we can build a graph there. If I were to explain our entire strategy in one sentence, it's we're going to use Slack to take on LinkedIn and then turn around and use LinkedIn to take on Slack. A little bit bold. So let's see how that actually gets expressed in the product. So this is Filament. We took a handful of engineers and we built a platform that has complete parity across desktop, across web, across iOS and Android with the platforms that people use today. But we built it for networks of trust. Every single network is invite only, where members vouch for each other to join. And when you vouch for people, it actually has teeth. If you vouch for an asshole, it doesn't just reflect on them, it also has consequences for you. Every single person has their own professional rich profile, so that when you are in a room planning an attack on Yemen, you maybe know that there's an Atlantic journalist in the room with you. But we wanted to think about how trust worked in an era of agents, especially when those agents weren't ones that we controlled. They weren't Filament agents, they were independent personal agents. So we built for that too. So in Filament, members vouch for agents just as they would people. And when they do, those agents are connected into their managers. Their managers are responsible for their behavior on the platform and have consequences for that. And also, when we're creating channels, the platform can start to define how those agents can interact in different places. So you can say, I just want humans in this particular one, or they can be in there but just respond, or you can say, screw it, fully autonomous. The platform can help define how bots and humans start to interact. And once they're in rooms, then they can start conversing and interacting, but they also get access to a whole range of tools that we built for them. Every single channel is its own knowledge graph. Every message, every link, every image, every profile, every document that goes in there is all vectorized, all agent readable. So now those professionals can start bringing them in to their own workplace, their own work lives, outside of Filament, wherever they need the information to flow. To show you an example of our kind of training wheels area where we do this, this is kind of concierge, where I can ask questions like, what did I do? Like, what do people in this group think is the best approach to fractional pricing? And I'm getting back information not from the web, but from the conversations, the connections, the insight from the people around as we're working. So, trying to build for humans, trying to build for agents, trying to do that in ways that center trust. And finally, we built the whole thing on a global graph. People and channels can move across. We can move information between different networks to the places where it needs to happen. And when we do that, we automatically apply Chatham House rules. We allow information to flow, we protect the identity of the people doing it, and we do read receipts so people know what's happening where they're being shared. Also, your Rolodex with the people that you actually trust occurs at the global level. And when you want to talk to them, your DMs are end-to-end encrypted. However, I am not going to show you my DMs. So, we're almost through. This is always the question that comes up. We've built this incredible, polished product. Who gives a shit if you can't do distribution right? How are you thinking about that? So for us, 3 things. First, we can't win individual to individual. It's too slow, it's too brutal. We have to win the conveners, the people who can bring on 1,000 people at a time. They're the kind of people who can convene a group, catalyze the conversation, make sure they have high bars to entry. And there's 2 ways in which we're doing that. One, we've learned from our friends at Substack. They saw a group of people who were doing something for free and said, if we can build payments into our platform, we can serve those people and massively enlarge the market. They then took targeted outreach and the use of strategic MGs and so forth to bring high-value people in and catalyze an entire industry transition. We see the exact same dynamics happening with private groups. There's a whole ton of people doing this for free. We believe we can grow that market by bringing in the payment system. So we built payments into Filament, and now we're following the exact same playbook as Substack to make the exact same transition. The best marketing for us isn't an Instagram ad. It's a convener telling everyone they know just how much money they're making doing the thing they used to do for free. The second way we're doing this is there's a whole bunch of people with gigantic professional audiences who have realized that ads and paywalls are not going to work on a web entirely populated by bots. They're all now trying to move up the chain, move towards private networks, and we have the playbooks and the platform that is purpose-built for them, as well as the fact that we have possibly the best network in the industry from working with these people for the last 18 years. To give you one example of this, and this is because it's actually happening this week, the Harvard Business Review is rolling out its first private networks on Filament this Friday. So it's a big fucking swing, to be honest. It has the potential for unlimited TAM, but also complete failure. And so you should know the team that you'd be betting on to do this, because I feel like, aside from the drag factor of myself, this team is the very best team to possibly do this. This is us deciding to build a company at 15,000 feet. I was the CEO of Chartbeat and Scroll, both were acquired. Then I was on the global leadership team at Twitter, where I ran all new consumer products, and Twitter was also acquired. I now sit on the board at Medium, and my partner at Twitter, who ran ops across all of those products, was Mari Zumbro. She's a fucking machine. She's amazing. She lifts up everybody around her. Wes Chow spent 6 years at the MIT Media Lab where he was CTO for constructive communications. His entire focus was on human and AI connection and collaboration. And Daniel Salinas is quite simply the finest engineer I've ever met. He was the lead engineer at Foursquare and at Scroll. He was the 4th engineer at Roblox. So we have parties at his house. That is the team. We've built something really amazing. We're taking it to market now. We're so thankful for your time today. Please come find us, come talk to us, maybe give us some money. Thank you very much.